Welcome back. Welcome back to the Kovacs Report. It's my favourite time of month when the previews catalogues come around. We're going to kick off with Marvel previews. Yes, these are all the books being listed right now, and they will be available in January. So we're going to take a look at everything that's in the catalogue, highlight what's new, what's interesting, give a few thoughts here and there, and let you know what's on my pull list for January. So before that happens, there are going to be a lot of spoilers in here, of course, because there's solicitations, so beware. Like the video if you can, and you know what? Give that little subscribe button a little tap. I'd really, really appreciate it. So, Iron Man on the cover. We did a little video the other day, actually, when this was announced. I'm super excited, very, very excited indeed about the return of Iron Man. He is one of my favorite characters in the world, the first run I ever completed, and it's Joshua Williamson and Carmen Carnero. So, it is all set up for good. We've got Psylocke here, but we'll get to that. So here's an Iron Man variant cover, of course. What does it say? What does it say? The unapologetic Iron Man is a once-in-a-lifetime hero, but the beating heart behind the armor is once-in-a-century genius. Years ago, Tony Stark was knocking on death's door, so he created the Iron Man armor to survive. What happens the next time death comes calling? What weapon does he create then? What if someone else creates it first? These questions have haunted Tony for years, a ticking time bomb inside of him waiting to explode. Femme Fatale, Madame Masque, has also asked these questions, and with the power of advanced idea mechanics behind her, she's ready to create the next great weapon. So, this is interesting. So basically what they're saying is that the armor isn't the most powerful weapon. Tony's mind is the most powerful weapon, because with that, he can create anything. So that's quite interesting. We've got some Pepper Potts is back, which is nice to see. Madame Masque looks cool. And old War Machine flying through the middle there. So this looks really, really good. Joshua Williamson's doing some great stuff over at DC, so I'm very, very excited. Now we get a sneak peek of the new armor, Mark 75. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Got some aerodynamics going on the helmet. I like it. It's not bad at all. Not bad at all. And we got the usual variants. I think these variants are tying into some kind of computer game. I think Cosmic Invasion. Anyway, we've got some preview pages, which again, we went through in a solo video for Iron Man. It sounds pretty interesting. To do this very, very quickly, basically, there's someone making an Iron Man armor suit, and of course, we think that's going to be Tony Stark, right? So he puts it all together. There's little nods here to Tales Spence 39, of course, and then he rises up in a sort of clanky suit, and he tries to blow the door down. He comes out, but unfortunately, that suit of armor isn't very good. That's because it's not Tony Stark. What it is one of Madame Masque's AIM scientists. And they're trying to simulate what happened to Tony being trapped in a cave to create that armor. Maybe it stimulates something in the brain, that moment of genius, but it's failing. So that's her plan. She's trying to find someone who has this kind of brain that could take Tony Stark on. So it's a very different take. I like it. It looks cool. The art's lovely. Very, very excited. January is my birthday, so this will be a nice little birthday present with a bit of luck. Okay, the Ultimates are, coming to a conclusion. Well, most of them are. Ultimate Black Panther is finishing. Brian Hill and Stefano Caselli. The epic finale. Well, not for me. Now, I'm guessing this child that's floating above here, is that Miles Morales' sister? I thought they were back. They were back in this 616. I'm not reading this book anymore because I just can't. I just don't dig it, basically. So let me know. Let me know who the baby is, unless I've got to go and read quite a few of these back issues. Anyway, the covers look cool, as you would expect. Ultimate X-Men. Issue 23, one more after that it's finished. Peach Momoko. Now, again, I keep saying this every time I make this video. I must be bored of saying it. It's a nice little story, but to be honest, it doesn't fit in the Ultimate Universe. It's beautifully drawn. The story's interesting, I guess, but it doesn't fit. It feels out of place. This should have got its own little separate solo graphic novel or mini-series, and it would have done just as well, actually. Ultimates. Dennis Camp and Juan Frigeri. Yes, well, at least said about that, the better. I think this issue is going to be something around the LMDs of Nick Fury, but I'm struggling. I'm struggling to get through this book. I couldn't even review the last book. There was this great idea, but it was executed so messily. It was an absolute explosion of confusing paneling, colliding ideas on top of something that could have been very, very interesting, like an in-depth look inside the psyche of Reed Richards' Doctor Doom, But Alas, it was what it was. We won't dwell on there too long. This is what we're or rather getting excited about. Ultimate Endgame's coming out very, very soon. Very, very, very soon. We're not going to read the synopsis here because we don't want to spoil what's happening in the first issue. But this is the end. 5-issue miniseries. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen after Endgame? We certainly don't. I'm not even sure if Marvel do, to be honest. Ultimate Wolverine. Again, this is coming to a close soon. Again, just a real slow burn book, which hasn't really gone anywhere, really. I mean, like we're 12, 13 issues in, and what's really happened? What's really happened? I don't know, We had this Winter Soldier concept of Wolverine. Now he's not the Winter Soldier again. Now he's back to being one of these sort of X-Men resistance fighting the Makers, Eurasian forces. It just sort of dwindles along, not doing much. Anyway, Miles Morales. Now, this is the interesting part. That box that he holds are the origin boxes. Now, if you're following Ultimate Universe, you'll know that the maker, he made the world so that all the heroes never became heroes. And Iron Lad has been going around with these little origin boxes. And if they open them, they are granted the powers that they would have had the maker not prevented it all. And some of those boxes are unstable versions of these boxes. So I think we're being set up for creating new supervillains here, have been brought back from the Ultimate Universe into the 616 universe by Miles Morales. And that story is going to be kicking off. So I'd have to give that a read, unfortunately. Never mind. But we've got both Spideys actually in this one by the sounds. What does it say? Sometimes it takes two Spider-Men to do whatever a spider can, but Peter Parker and Miles Morales together might not be enough to overcome what arch foe Rabble has in store. Who the hell's Rabble? I gave up reading Miles Morales. I couldn't stand Cody Ziegler's take on it. It's one of the worst books out there for me. Don't miss this epic grand finale to the Rabble saga. Okay, well, if it ties into the Ultimate Universe, we'll give it a little spin just so I can make a video, keep abreast of everything. And of course, Null is back. Al Ewing and Tom Bolts with art by Juan Ramirez as a Ryan Stegman cover there. I do like that for Rafael Albuquerque cover. That does look really, really imposing. So from what I understand, Hela is basically supplanting Null. And she's becoming the sort of big leader. And she's going to be the one that's causing all the problems. I think Null is going to try and fight to get his throne back as such. Let's see what it says. Return of the King. Weakened from his last death. Trapped by the enemy he never expected, the god of the void waits in a cage once again. His captors think Null has nothing to fight back with, but in Null's hands, nothing is a weapon. And there's a greater weapon out there, waiting for the King in Black to take it and take his revenge. Okay, well, it's Al Ewing, so it might not be very exciting, but it might at least be interesting. At least the art looks fantastic. Why did we get any preview art in this? No, we don't. X-Men of the Apocalypse is about to kick off. Jeff Loeb, Simone DeMeo are celebrating, 25 years of Age of Apocalypse. And they're back with a new series where the X-Men of the Apocalypse have come into the 616 universe, and they're going to have a scrap with the Uncanny X-Men, of course. So we won't read the synopsis again because issue 1 hasn't come out. We seem to be in that previous catalogue where everything's sort of halfway, so it's a bit difficult to sort of find out what these issues are about because we haven't had the first issue yet. So that's why. But we've got some nice covers. Joe Madureira there, Arthur Adams. Oh, this one looks nice too. I'm not sure who this one is. Featuring this is Simone DeMeo on the right here. Looks very, very cool. Alas, it looks like they've gone to the Savage Land. Why does every X-Men story always have to go to the Savage Land? You're going to say yes, but they always go to the... I know, that's the point. Let's go somewhere else. Psylocke's back. This looks like it's good old Elizabeth Betsy Braddock. Because I think Quanon was in the previous Psylocke series, which just ended, or rather was abruptly cancelled, issue 10. So it's a return to... good old Braddock, Betsy Braddock. Let's see what it says. Tim Seeley, Nico Leon. We got some Derek Chu covers here. Loads of variants. Of course, there's loads of variants. Betsy Braddock, Mutant X-Man Ninja. That's what it's called. Psylocke Ninja. This sounds a bit of fun, actually. Flashback to a time when Psylocke was reborn into the ultimate killing machine. What sacrifice did Betsy make to save the X-Men? Why did the Hand choose Psylocke to be their weapon? And what does it have to do with their former assassin, Elektra? Tim Seeley and artist Nico Leon answer these questions in a lost story from the X-Men's past. Okay, That sounds interesting. We'll give that a whirl for sure. I mean, look at those covers. They look rad. Sai. So Sai, isn't that a character? Yeah, this is a character from the computer game Rivals, which is doing great guns. I think, though, its playership and concurrent users are dropping a little bit. So I think Marvel's injecting some new content maybe to get back up to the top. So it's Peach Momoko and more. So there's other people getting involved in this. It's probably not for me. I'll look at it just for the art because I like looking at Peach Momoko's art. What does it say? Peach Momoko takes you on a multi-dimensional ride with Sai. Oh, an almost dreamlike work. Peach Momoko has assembled a collective of artists, all telling one story with many parts. As Sai makes her way through the multiverse, a true spectacle of the comics medium, unlike anything you've seen before. They always use this line, unlike anything you've seen before. I'm sure we have. I'm pretty sure we have. Anyway, Doom. Well, this is odd because they released the cover about a week or two ago, showing the cover, but they've classified it, unless they're changing it. I don't know. So this is Philip Kennedy Johnson and Benjamin Percy. So hopefully it's going to be really good. I've got a lot of faith in both these guys. This happens after the events of One World Under Doom, which is wrapping up. One more issue to go. It's a bit of a sort of a silent event, really, but who cares? Let's see what this is all about. In the aftermath of One World Under Doom, with Doom's castle empty and masterless, the superpowers of the world race to claim and control the untold power and technology that await inside. Okay, so much like World War II, once the Allies invaded Berlin and all the other countries that were overrun by the Germans, it was a bit of a race to see what they could get. So I guess what this is exactly that. But when an explosion sends them all plummeting into a dungeon labyrinth that none of them knew was there, what began as an arms race becomes a terrifying game of survival. Who, if any, will survive, and what horrors lie within the dungeons of Doom? So is this like, Dungeons and Dragons role-playing game, but with Marvel? Could be. Sounds like it's going to be fun. I think that's what the sort of edge here is. I mean, Philip Kennedy Johnson and Benjamin Percy, I reckon they'll make it a bit of fun. It can't be too serious. Lunar Snow, World Tour, honestly, Greg Pak, Ario Anidito and Takeshi Miyazawa. Okay, why? Lunar Snow on an all-new adventure as the world recovers from Doctor Doom's takeover. K-pop star and ice-welding superhero Lunar Snow hits her lowest low yet. So she takes her music into her own hands and hits the road. But when a new K-pop star appears on the screen with music that's so catchy it's criminal, Luna has to shift into hero mode to defend the very fans who can't stand her. Can she win their hearts and save the day? And which beloved Marvel heroes will join her along the way? Honestly, I know K-pop is super, super popular. K-pop Demon Hunt is one of the best animations I've watched in decades. I absolutely loved it. But who sort of sat there and thought, let's have a Marvel K-pop superhero? I don't know. Do you know what? It might sell bazillions to the kiddies, right? Who knows? Who knows? Oh, Shadows of Tomorrow. This is the post-Age of Revelation mega event, which is going to reintroduce all the books that have been put on hold, resets the universe. Who knows what else is going to happen? But it's here. And it's kicking off in X-Men 23, Jed MacKay. Now, listen, Age of Revelation so far, the main books, I'll be honest, the Jed MacKay books have been really quite good. And there's a few spin-offs that have been pretty good too. Check out my videos to find out which ones. But on the whole, the tie-ins, you can kind of just leave alone. You don't really, really need them. So I'm just kind of wondering where this is all going, really, because not a lot of what's happening in those tie-ins is kind of elevating what's happening in the main event. So I'm very interested to see what happens and what Shadows of Tomorrow brings. Let's see what it says. Age of Revelation Epilogue. So this is Jed MacKay with Tony Daniel art. One X-Man of the present has been stranded in the Age of Revelation, fighting against impossible odds in the world of tomorrow. But while they've been there, what has their future counterpart been doing in their body in the present? So I'm assuming Cyclops gets trapped in the world of Revelation and Beast, there's Beast. Yes, I reckon it's Cyclops, the one that's done the switch. I think Beast comes back because their consciousness have been beamed into their 10-year ahead bodies because Age of Revelation has babbled them, which means he's removed their ability to communicate, use language, understand anything. So they're a bit of sort of like, worthless husks until they beamed old Beast and Cyclops's I don't know, consciousness into their bodies. So maybe, I think it's got to be Cyclops, right? I mean, Beast would be interesting from the science nerdy part of it, but Cyclops, he's the main man, right? It's got to be Cyclops. Anyway, issue 24, bring on the bad guys. In the wake of the Age of Revelation, the gene terrorist group 3K has been revitalized, but will their internal schemes undo them? I don't know. So 3K, they are, like I say, they are very anti-Charles Xavier's teachings. They're a big part of this Age of Revelation thing. Initially thought to be the people who actually released the X virus that started off the Age of Revelation, but in fact, obviously, it was Doug Ramsey, Revelation himself. Yeah, okay, we'll give those a whirl. Uncanny X-Men has got to be Gail Simone and David Marquez. Mean Girl Martina. So it looks like this new character that Gail Simone created a few issues ago is returning. Okay, she was a movie star who played a killer called Mutina, but actually that is really her sort of persona, and she hates mutants and even might be one if I can remember rightly. Let's see what it says. A festive event is interrupted by the daughter of darkness herself, Mutina, and she has an unimaginable favor to ask the Uncanny X-Men and woe betide them all if they refuse. So she's going to ask for help. It's murderous mutants and cake and blades, and you will look very different at one of your core X-Men after this bloody issue. Now, no disrespect to Gail Simone, but this book has taken on a little bit of a different angle, actually. It feels more like Runaways rather than sort of classic X-Men. Now, that's all fine and dandy. I'm not saying anything bad about Gail Simone here. I'm just saying the Uncanny X-Men book, I kind of expected a more sort of traditional core team, but we've got these new sort of teen outliers as they're known. And this book really does feel like it's not uncanny. It feels like it needs its own title, because it kind of has created this completely new thing that you don't expect in the Uncanny X-Men, or at least I wouldn't. Okay, I'm sure people would say, Angelo, but guess what? This happened in this issue and that run, and I'm sure. Now, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying I need some classic X-Men back in my life, really. Anyway, moving on to classic X-Men, we've got Wolverine. What's he up to in the shadows of tomorrow? And of course, this is Saladin Ahmed, who's just written, I think, he's already written 13 completely forgettable issues of Wolverine. Let's see if his return with issue 14 is going to be memorable. We've got Martin Coccolo and art, so at least it's going to look really, really nice. Wolverine encounters Silver Sable. The flagship series returns as Wolverine crosses paths with Silver Sable in a mission to save a cadre of Morlocks. But are they on the same side? And who's got Logan in their sights? The all-new era starts now. It's not going to be an all-new era. We all know it's just going to carry on the way it was, which is really, really boring. Now, this is exciting. Inglorious X-Force. This has got Tarantino written over it. It looks like it's going to be a whole bunch of fun. Tim Seeley, Marcus Stambaria on the writing and art. We've got some pretty cool covers there as well, as you'd expect. Inglorious Vengeance. Cable returns from the future with a handful of clues and gaping holes in his memory. An assassination is at hand, and it's up to Helverine, Archangel, and his former teammate Boom Boom to follow Cable's lead into the fire. But who are they after, and what secret does Cable's faulty memory hide? Be here for the ground floor of the mystery and strap in for the most extreme thrill ride in Xdom as an all-new X-Force blazes into battle. We'll give that a whirl. It sounds like it might be a bit of fun. I mean, it's 50-50 at this point with any Marvel book. Rogue #1, Erica Schultz. Oh, God, why Erica Schultz? Why Erica Schultz? I mean, look what she did to Laura Kinney Wolverine. Now she's going to do it to Rogue, honestly. Luigi Zagaria is doing the artwork. So again, this is one reason to read the book. I pray she has a better sort of feel for Rogue than she did Laura Kinney. But let's look at this. The art does look really cool, I've got to admit. You can't outrun the past. You can't. I literally just said that. Anyway, we'll move on. I want to get butchered. Rogue has an idyllic life with her sweet Remy LeBeau. But there are still skeletons in her closet, ones that come out when she least expects it. Rogue has worked so hard to leave her villainous past behind. Unfortunately, the past doesn't stay in the past. What happens when it slams you right in the face? What past sin would make Rogue leave Haven House? Do Mystique and Destiny hold the answer? Oh, I don't know. Well, it looks pretty. We'll review it and we'll roll the dice. Hopefully won't pay the price. Logan, Black, White and Blood. And they're continuing with these sort of duotone style books, and some of them are actually really good. I mean, usually they're sort of a mix of short stories or different creators on each issue. So we've got Tom Waltz, of course, we've got Saladin Ahmed and Larry Hama. Well, that's an interesting one. He's back on G.I. Joe. We've got a lot of artists here as well. Adam Kubert, Alex Linz, Dave Watcher. Cover by Alex Maleev, one of my favourite artists. I really like this. So let's see what it's all about. That cover on the right there just looks cool. It's got to be Alex Maleev. Yeah, of course it is. The brutal and violent life of Logan. Oof. Wolverine, a.k.a. Logan's long and violent history, is showcased in brand new tales by top-tier talent in brutal black, white and red. Tom Waltz and Alex Linz reveal Logan's never-before-revealed military service during the 1950s. That sounds interesting. With a secret connection to fan-favourite Marvel character, of course. A mission in seedy 1970s Times Square puts Logan on the trail of a deranged serial killer, as told by Saladin Ahmed and Adam Kubert. Survival is the name of the game after Logan escapes from Weapon X by Larry Hama and Dave Watcher. All right, we'll give it a go. It's only 4 issues as well, so let's see what it's like. Planet She-Hulk, again. I'm not going to jump into this one and read the synopsis. Don't want to spoil it because issue 1 hasn't come out yet. I think it's out. Is it this week? Next week? Very, very soon indeed. It's Stephanie Phillips. Now, with Stephanie Phillips, I much prefer her indie stuff, her non-superhero stuff. But hopefully we're in for a pleasant surprise with this. I hope she does the book proud. Now, Nova Centurion, I have read the first one, actually. I found it really, really hard to get into. I'm going to go back and give it another go. I'm not writing it off. I'm not writing it off yet. But it just felt like there was so much to take in one issue, and maybe it was just too much for my little brain at the time. So there we go. Black Panther Intergalactic is again another book which is about to start soon. Victor Lavelle, Stefano Nessi is the creative team. We're going to give that a go. So I guess this is the Black Panther in space. I'm guessing it's going to be a post-Imperial event ending story, maybe. Who knows? We don't know. Doctor Strange is returning, of course. Not as a Sorcerer Supreme, though, because we're going to have a new Sorcerer Supreme. So we'll figure out Derek Landy and Ivan Fiorelli. So Fallen Angels, this issue, again, can't say much because the first issue isn't out. Damn it. I really want to read the synopsis, otherwise this video is going to be pretty boring. Again, Sorcerer Supreme. It says writer. Oh, but it doesn't say who the writer is. I think it's been leaked already. It's Steve Orlando. Now, what has Steve Orlando been writing for an age? That's right. He's been writing Scarlet Witch. So who is the new Sorcerer Supreme? Sounds to me like it's going to be Scarlet Witch. I mean, who else would you put on the book? You've been writing Scarlet Witch for forever. I think that book might even be... No, it can't be ending. I'm not sure. That would be too telling. But I think there's going to be... Steve Orlando on Scarlet Witch, and we will give it a read. I'm not a big fan of Steve Orlando's stuff, but I'm a big fan of the Scarlet Witch, so we'll give it a go. Now, Wiccan Witches Road, I said this last time. Who asked for this book? Who said I want this? I just don't get it. But here it is, Wiccan Witches Road. Will I be reading it? Probably not. It's definitely not for me. I'm not even going to spend any time in it. What I will be reading is The End 2099, which again is about to kick off. It's another Steve Orlando book, so we're going to give it 1 issue to see if it's any good. I'm hoping it's going to be, I don't know, something a little bit interesting. But let's actually read the synopsis for this one. All-out war rages as heroes from across the multiverse battle against their own universe's extinction. Bone and Adamantium clash as Nova 2099 and Age of Apocalypse Weapon X cross claws. Wow, it's getting really in the mix, isn't it? The ground quakes as Red Hulk and Red Hulk 2099 brawl in a battle between behemoths. Reality strains at the seams as House of M Wonder pits her magic against Doctor Strange 2099. If that's not another telling nod that she's new Sorcerer Supreme, I don't know what is. Anyway, as the casualties start rising, Spider-Man 2099 tries to rise above the chaos. But when his pleas for peace are met with punches, it'll be all he can do to protect himself from the onslaught. Heroes will die, fates will be changed forever, and the 2099 universe will never be the same again after this action-packed issue. Fantastic Four! I am reading it, but I'm absolutely hating it. Honestly, really, really not liking this book. So Ryan North, I genuinely believe is very overrated. I cannot stand this book, but I just keep at it because I'm thinking, you know what? It's going to suddenly click. It's going to click. There's going to be something that happens. I'm like, actually, no, this has suddenly got really good. Humberto Ramos is doing the best work he can do with the script that he's got. What's this one about? The Invincible Woman Part 2. Okay, best not read this in case it spoils it. So we're getting a Invincible Woman 2-part story coming up soon. Hulk Smash, again, Ryan North. Oh boy. Oh boy. So apparently this is the Hulk basically going out, smashing all sorts of things. Like not just the villains, but dinosaurs, tanks, you name it, Hulk will smash. Apparently, I think that's kind of the premise. I think it's supposed to be a bit of a fun book. Now, I'm not sure why this is out now, considering we've got this huge thing going on in the Infernal Hulk kicking off. Actually, it's right there. But let's see what it says. Pencils down, true believers, and pay attention to this next history lesson. For centuries, a scholar believed dinosaurs to be among some of the fiercest creatures to ever roam Earth during its prehistoric age. Until Hulk arrived. Pangea? I don't know. Evolution? Forget it. History as we know it is about to get smashed. So it's basically Hulk up against other stuff. Like a bit of fun, but do you know what? I'm going to give it issue 1 and then it's gone. Now, Infernal Hulk, holy hell. I cannot wait till issue 1 comes out. I think, again, that's out in the next few weeks. Philip Kenny Johnson and Nick Klein are absolutely smashing it. I was not a regular Hulk reader until this run, and I'm absolutely hooked. The last issue of The Incredible Hulk, which rolls into this issue of, this run, Infernal Hulk, was incredible. It was a visual delight. Go and check it out. Even if you're not a Hulk fan, just check it out for the art. It's glorious, absolutely incredible. So happy about this. The Hulk, he's been torn in half, and the eldest is now possessing the Hulk's body, and Bruce Banner has been torn out of his Hulk prism, and he's like this really skinny sort of guy that's been rotting away in the hellscape. So very, very exciting stuff. Honestly, one of the best Hulk runs in decades. Get on it. Go back and read it if you can. Infernal Hulk #1's not out yet. 1776 JMS, J. Michael Straczynski. Again, another book kicking off where I guess the heroes go back to 1776 and make sure all of the stuff to do with the founding of the United States of America happens. Make sure that they preserve the nation and the future of the country, I guess. Anyway, Venom's taking a bit of a sort of highlight, I think, in the next few months with all this Null stuff and more symbiote stuff. I think issue 250, has it come out yet? The anniversary issue? I'm not sure. But this looks like Madame Mask. Isn't she over in Iron Man? Isn't she over in... I don't know. Where is she? I don't know. Honestly, this is the problem with a lot of these Marvel books at the moment. They're just not really connecting much. Bit of a shame. Countdown to issue 1000. Here we go. Amazing Spider-Man 19 and 20. My favourite character. Legacy issues 985 and 986. So if you don't know already, we're getting 2 Spideys a month. Okay, one we're in space and one back down on Earth. Now, on Earth, we've got Ben Reilly pretending to be Peter Parker, and we have Norman Osborn pretending to be Spider-Man. Why? Well, Spider-Man, he's been sent into space, and he's trying to get tougher so he can come back and beat up a villain called Hellgate, which nobody's interested in. Now, that's what's happening in Spider-Man. We've got Goblin Slayers here. I think issue 18 is when he returns to Earth and he starts having this little fight with Hellgate. Who knows? Will he be ready? I don't know. We will find out and we will review it. It hasn't been great yet. We are almost, 20 issues into this book and it's just average. Honestly, Spider-Man Mark kicks off Eric Larson. You know what? It wasn't bad, actually. It wasn't bad. It wasn't perfect, but it wasn't bad. I'm going to give it a go for another couple of issues. So we don't know if I'm going to last till issue 4, but we'll see. Amazing Spider-Man torn. Well, I'll be honest, and pun intended, I am torn over this book. A lot of the fandom thinks, great, this is a return. This is a return to Spider-Man. JMS is back, and I want it to be because I love JMS. I really, really do. But I just wasn't blown away by the first issue. Did it capture lots of Peter Parker and lots of Spider-Man things that we've been missing? Absolutely. But it lacked for me a little bit of a punch. The dialogue wasn't as smart as you expect from JMS, but I'm sticking on it. It's a 4-parter. This could all change in the second issue, so I am very, very excited. Now we get an Amazing Spider-Man annual, of course, because we're nearing the end of the year. And of course, let's give it to Saladin Ahmed. Oh dear. Joe Kelly and more. Federico Vicentini on art. We got Francesco Mobili cover here, which looks really, really cool, with a character absolutely no one cares about, Rapid, which they introduced a few issues ago. Not sure why, but there he is. Spider-Man shows new speedster Rapid around the friendly neighborhood. Rapid has a lot to learn about the superhero game, but the training wheels come off when Screwball live streams death and destruction across New York City. We'll give it a whirl. It's Spider-Man. I can't say no, even if it's terrible, but we will find out. Not reading all new Spider-Gwen. I tried the first issue. Again, it's Stephanie Phillips. Not one of my favorite writers for superheroes, but her Endeavour book out on Distillery is first class. Absolutely fantastic book. Check it out. Check it out. Spider-Man 94, again, high hopes for this book. And I don't think I'm alone to saying it's kind of not really met any of them. There's some interesting elements in there, but the characters don't look like the characters. We've got Morlan in there. Okay, Morlan's cool, but it just, again, it's not on this book that's falling flat, and it doesn't continue from the cartoon, which is what we hoped. You know, do promise that maybe if the book does well, they will return to that storyline and we'll get the middle part from the end of the cartoon to the beginning of this miniseries. But why? Why jump so far ahead? Why not continue the series? That's what we all wanted, but it's not what we're getting. Anyway, it is mediocre. Sorry, J.M. Mateus, you're an absolute legend, but this book, you know what? It's not shining for me. Jim Toe and art there. So Black Cat, again, G. Willow Wilson, Gleb Melnikov. Now, I tried to read the first issue. That's not true. I read the first issue. And there's some interesting ideas. They're trying to make it a little bit more Deadpool-y, breaking the fourth wall. Black Cat has now decided that, you know what, the best thing for her career is to, well, go good. You know, and fight crime instead of being a criminal. And it's one of those books where, for me personally, the jokes fall quite flat and the stories are really juvenile and there's plot holes everywhere. But I've only read the first issue. I'm going to read issue 2 and just see if it continues that way. But again, it's not floating my boat. I think this book is aimed at a very, very specific audience, and I'm just not that audience. Spider-Man Wolverine, yes, Mark Guggenheim, who again I really respect. Great writer. The first arc started off great, and then it just dragged on. We had issue after issue of just repetition, really. Not really forwarding a plot. Just, you know, here's this month's punch-ups. We're going to have some more punch-ups next month, and we'll drag this idea that we've been teasing with to the very end. Then introduce an absolutely forgettable villain, and then sort of kind of kill him off at the end. So there's a new arc erupting in this book, I think maybe a few weeks ago or about to come. So I'm going to start and see if this next arc's any good. But this is very dangerously getting close to being taken off my pull list. I really, really, really need it to get good. Anyway, we're going into the other books now. Marvel Rival. So this is a tie into the computer game, so I probably wouldn't be interested in that. Luna Snow in search of a heavenly venue. So I guess Luna Snow, judging by what I said earlier, is actually one of the game characters then, is she? Or did I even know that? I don't know. It's been a long time since that page. Now, this is interesting. Marvel DC Spider-Boy team up. Facsimile edition. Now, they are reprinting this because Marvel and DC are reprinting the Treasury Superman versus Spider-Man book from years ago, and they're going to produce some more facsimiles and some new books to celebrate that. So that should be really, really, really fun. Okay, more facsimiles. I don't know why they've been doing these facsimiles, really, but they do. I guess they sell. Fantastic 452. Okay. That's the first Black Panther, I guess. Yeah. Okay, so Avengers 800. Now, I thought this would have a lot more fanfare in the previous catalogue, right? Because it's Legacy issue 800. And whenever that happens, there's usually a lot of, you know, poppers being shot, balloons in the sky, 5,000 variants. But it looks like we've just got this double-page spread. I'm thinking, where's the celebration? Shouldn't you be happy about this? Anyway, we've got Jed McKay and a surprise writer. I wonder who that surprise writer is. I wonder. Is it Michael Bendis? I don't know. Who knows? I could be right. I could be wrong. Farid Karami and surprise artist. So who's it? I don't know. Are they bringing back some legendary Avengers creative team to celebrate this? Maybe that's the way they're going to announce that they're returning to Marvel. Who knows? But they've got to do something. Cool cover. Let's see what it's about. Earth's Mightiest Heroes mark a critical milestone with 800 issues. Everything has been building towards this Meridian's Endgame. Kang stands revealed at the precipice of a new universe. Plus, a surprise can't miss blockbuster return creative team from Avengers Past. There we go. Okay, well, we'll see who that is. Okay, drop your thoughts in the comments. I've not read anything online about this, so I'm just shooting in the dark. But if you have an idea of who you think this secret return creative team is, pop it in there and let me know. Right, New Avengers. By the way, I've not been enjoying this book at all. I've really not been enjoying this Avengers book. I want it to get better. New Avengers, again, started off funny, bit interesting, but it's just evolved into bad jokes, repetitive stuff over and over again. I really want it to be good, but you need a good Avengers book. Come on, guys. Battleworld wasn't for me. I gave it a miss. Thor, The Mortal Thor, really, in my opinion, and I'm sorry to say it, is one of the worst books that I've been reading lately. It's just not flowing me. I know the run that led into this, the Immortal Thor, a lot of people loved it and said, you've got to read it, you've got to read it, the art's great. But I'm just not digging this. What's going on? What is going on? And anyway, if you are enjoying it, that's absolutely fine too. It's just my opinion. This is just about my pull list, right? So Strange Tales, again, I'll poke my nose in it, but it's going to be one of those forgettable series. But this sounds interesting. As I've said, Daredevil, Punisher, The Devil's Trigger. Ooh, Jimmy Palmiotti, Tommaso Bianchi on art. Now, issue 1 is about to drop too, I think, the next few weeks. So we're definitely reviewing that. And the new Palmiotti and Panassian, The Punisher from Marvel Knights is out too, which I'm enjoying. I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying it. But it's not my favorite. I love Jimmy Palmiotti. Like, I really, really love Jimmy Palmiotti. There we go. Marvel Zombies. I still haven't read the first one. I meant to. Let me know if it's any good. There's been so much Marvel Zombie stuff over the years. I remember the original series was incredibly funny. I really enjoyed it. And that was a long, long, long time ago. So I wanted to sort of dip my toes in this one, but I just haven't got round to reading the first one. Let me know. Now, the Punisher Red Bands, Benjamin Percy, Julius Ota, incredible art. The story's definitely shaping up. The Kingpin sort of has control of the Punisher, and he's using him to clean up the city, which is very, very interesting. Like I say, the art and the character designs in the book are outstanding. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Absolutely loving this book. Can't wait for the next one. And of course, it's Red Band, so it's more adult. Now, Spirits of Violence, again, was another book I meant to read, but I just didn't get round to reading it because, you know, I've got to balance my full-time job, making all these videos, you know, being a good person outside of all of that and everything else, working on comics myself. So there's only so many hours in the day. Let me know if it's worth diving in. I was intrigued. I tried this one as well, Marvel Black, White, Blood and Guts, and it was okay. I'm not. It's not on my pull list, but this is Alien versus Captain America. Frank Thierry, Stefano Raphael. Cannot wait. Cannot wait for this. This is about to drop as well. So many of these books are having their number ones dropping any moment soon. No, I do not read Star Wars books, but here they are. We've got Han Solo, Legacy of Vader, Alex Segura on Star Wars. So many books. Okay, so we're into the trades and things. Garth Ennis, Steve Dillon, Jimmy Palmiotti, the Marvel Premier Collection. Now, these are nice books, actually, and they are reasonably well priced. You get $15, and I think they're a lot smaller, but you get like 12 issues, I think, in a book. What have we got here? We've got Captain America, Winter Soldier, Ed Brubaker, Steve Epstein, classic. Black Panther, A Nation Under Our Feet, and Fantastic Four, Jonathan Hickman, and a few others in there. So they're really good entry points, I think, for characters. So if you want to get some people into comics, chuck them some of these. They're pretty cool. And welcome back, Frank. Well, you know what? What can I say about that? One of the best, I get. One of the best out there, I guess. Same again with Daredevil, Born Again, Planet Hulk. So they're all like real big stories. Civil War, Old Man Logan. Old Man Logan is probably one of the best Wolverine stories I've ever read. That's Mark Miller and Steve McNiven. Fantastic. And again, the vision. Again, that blew me away. Tom King's sort of look at the family. I think they kind of based some of it on the TV series, did they not? They take part of that? I don't know. But this book here blew me away when I read it. I've got it on the shelf over there in hardcover. Okay, so we're doing loads of Daredevil, I guess, with the lead up to, I guess, the second season. Daredevil Back in Black. Which one's this? What do we got here? Okay, so it's 2015, 1 to 9, all new, all different point. Okay, so it's just going through the eras here, aren't they? Yeah. This is the 2015 run, and into 2017. And then the Jessica Jones Blind Spot, which I'm not sure I've read that one. I do like Jessica Jones, the Purple Man story, the Alias stuff. Oh my God, so good. But again, I guess these are little 6x9 books. They're all $25 actually, which is a little bit higher price point, and that was 20. But you get 400 odd pages for most of them. That's pretty cool. So they're good value for money. So Omnibus, I do like omnibuses. Invincible Iron Man Volume 4. We got a new Alan Milgram cover there and a Kirby cover. And we've got Fantastic Four. Is this the Dan Slott stuff? Yeah, this is the Dan Slott stuff. So we're getting lots more Omnibus. Brand New Day, Volume 3. Crikey. I guess they've got to print it right for completionists. Sorry to say. Web of Spider-Man gets its second volume. Kenny X-Men gets the Trial of Gambit with Joe Madureira cover. Okay, so you can look through those. Wolverine Not Dead Yet Omnibus. What's in this one? I guess that's going to be Wolverine from the late 80s onwards. Yeah, we're just continuing from where they left off. So loads of Omnibus. Some Fantastic Four stuff to time with the movie. Anything super cool? Okay, we get the trade from The World to Come, which is pretty interesting, actually. I definitely recommend you read it. I haven't read, or rather, I haven't reviewed the last issue because the stories are getting quite complex. I don't think people like watching videos when you're sort of issue 3 or 4 of a mini-series, unless it's something so huge, it can't be missed. So we get the regular trades, Runaways, Doom Academy, Doom's Division, Thunderbolts, Doomstrike. Red Hulk gets its second trade. Superior Avengers, One World, Hunter Doom. Oh dear, $30 for that. Oof. Okay, Fantastic Four, Ryan North, Humberto Ramos. If you're enjoying it, I guess you want to pick up the trade. I'm certainly not. I don't. These quotes here really don't hit it for me. Sharp and inventive. The art is phenomenal. The art is nice, wonderful. Okay. Emma Frost, Magic, New Avengers, May Spider-Man, just the usual stuff. And of course, we're getting the rest of the Ultimate trades. The Ultimate Incursion, one of the most ridiculous wastes of money that Marvel have put out in a long time. Honestly, they could have summed 5 issues up in one issue, or even in the books themselves, like Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate X-Men, Ultimates. What an absolute disaster. And I'm going to say it, and I don't care what anyone says. Daredevil, not Daredevil, Deadpool and Wolverine, Deadpools. More trades. The box sets, here they come. I guess this is all the volume 1s. Will it be volume? Yes, so there we got box set, volume 1s of the Ultimate Universe. If you want to catch up, yeah, we got all of them there. They're all volume number 1s. So we got these little epic collections, which again, really good value for money. You get a lot of pages and you get big chunks of stories. Now that modern era epic for the Murdoch papers by Bendis and May Lee. Wow, what a run. Incredible. So we got more Punisher, Mighty Thor. Come on, is there anything super special? No, that's it. I was hoping we'd get some kind of like deluxe edition, oversized hardcover of something really epic, but we're not. Anyway, those are basically my thoughts on these books. I know you will disagree with some of the things I've said, but again, it's just my thoughts. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. If you're enjoying something, all power to you. I genuinely glad if you're enjoying something that I don't. But I just wanted to make a little video, tell you what's on my pull list, highlight what's new, what's coming in January of 2026. Holy hell, this year has gone by so quick. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like the video if you can. And please do hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. Take care now.